BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 6, Episode 7. Let me bring us out of the darkness here. Here we are. All right, Season 6, Episode 7 of the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, where we look at all things fantasy football through the lens of our league, BARFF. I am joined down here in the BARFF Fantasy Football Dungeon by the best co-host in the business and owner of Born to Run. Walt is here. Walt, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great because we have a show
We do.
for tonight.
We do.
I cannot wait. Let us jump right into it. When we are finished with this first discussion, we will commemorate the end of the first half of the regular season.
How is that even possible?
It's insane. It's insane. Before we get into the Week 6 recap, we are going to be joined on the line by the owner of Whopper Moppers. Tom's on the line. Tom, how are you?
Commish, Walt, how's it going, guys?
Good, Tom.
We're doing good. We're doing good. We are going to jump into our review of last week. Let me just get a couple of things working while I do that. Walt, where do you want to start?
We'll start with my game because it's going to be a fairly short recap because we're going to use some of things that happened in that game for a later segment.
Perfect. So this is the 102.5 to 85 victory for Born to Run. Born to Run moves to 3-4, and the Springfield Rifle dropped to 1-6 on the season. Walt, what was the story of this game?
The story is I did everything I could do to try to lose this game. I really worked really hard, and if it wasn't for JSN, the savior, to kind of get a victory for us. I mean, really, my team, it was three guys. Yeah, well, Daniel Jones had a good week, but Aubrey. You basically had Ferguson, JSN, and, Daniel Jones. And unfortunately for the Rifle, there just wasn't a lot of production except for Jacobs. Jacobs played well. I thought Golf was off. He was off to a hot start.
Yeah.
But, they ended up running a ball, and Jahmyr Gibbs just went off.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I did not shed a tear when that happened. So, yeah, it was a tough loss for the Rifle. They just really didn't get any production. Other than, like I said, Jacobs.
Right. You definitely don't expect in a game where everything's clicking for the offense for the quarterback to go under 13 points for the Rifle. So that's tough for them to have to overcome.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, I feel bad. 1-6 is tough. We'll talk about that later. I don't know if that's a death sentence or not, but on life support at best, I would say.
It's getting there. I tell you, I was talking to us. I was trying to be supportive last week of the teams that were struggling, and at the end of the day, what really ends up happening as we take the turn is that it's not time to be okay anymore. It's time to have that stress. And if you're someone that's going to say, "Hey, Commish, I do this for fun. I don't stress about it." I say, shut your dirty mouth.
You're in the wrong league.
That's exactly
You're
right.
in the wrong league. Start looking for somewhere else.
My ulcers have ulcers.
Exactly.
Every time I taste the copper in my mouth, I remember why I love this sport so much. So,
100%.
So, yeah, we take things a little bit seriously over here in BARFF. So it's a much-needed victory as you head into the turn to go to 3-4. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, I think considering the injuries, not having, one of my best players pretty much been on injured Bowers all season, I'm feeling a little better. He's supposed to be there after this week. So I think in a home stretch, I think my team will be a little better. I don't know if they're championship worthy, but they'll be better.
All right. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about the other 1-6 team. Worst team ever. Got spanked by the Soaring Eagles.
Boy, worst team ever. Dropping to 1-6. This is a 150 to 115 beatdown as Soaring Eagles move to 4-3. Walt, what did you see in this game?
Yeah, it's well, good for the Eagles. Starting, 100-year-old Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And he gets 30 points. That was amazing. And then, we talked about Jahmyr Gibbs. He was like unstoppable. Honestly, if they would have let him play the fourth quarter, I don't know how many yards he would have ended up with. But, he looked amazing. And then Devontae Adams had a really, not a huge yardage stat line, but 3 touchdowns. That's always nice.
Of course.
Yeah, so, Soaring Eagles had, really good balanced scoring, and they had some high scores. And then on the flip side, just can't figure out worst team ever. As soon as they get a guy back, Jaden Daniels, he hurts his hamstring, and then he gets hurt. And Brian Thomas got hurt, and it's just even with CD Lamb back.
Right.
The story doesn't change
There's
for Steve
no
Everett.
luck. There's no luck. And we had looked at Jaden Daniels coming back last week as a real boost for WTE, and they did. I mean, he had a 19-point game, but you were looking for more. Against Dallas.
Against Dallas.
For more.
Yep.
Tom, when you look at this game of Soaring Eagles blowing up, what did you see that stood out?
I think Soaring Eagles, I mean, 3 guys almost go for 100 points combined. And then on the other side, worst team ever finally gets Lamb back, but now Jaden Daniels is hurt. And I don't know. I think Daniels just hasn't been as advertised for that second-year leap this year, so it's been a little bit of a disappointment. And then, Kyron Williams hasn't fallen off a little bit, but yeah, it's tough to be 1-6.
It is tough to be 1-6. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, well, I guess we'll talk about next week. We'll get into the gloom and doom. Worst team ever. Certainly, there's a lot of meat on that bone. There's a lot of work to do.
Hey, he's got the Springsteen movie coming out, so maybe that'll make him feel better. Instead of worrying about BARFF.
Oh no, he's got to do both. He's got to use that as motivation to get his team moving. All right, where are we going next?
Yeah, let's talk about your game, man. You ran into a buzzsaw with the Beans.
Saw it coming, called it last week. This is Boston Beans blowing up for the week's high score in a week of some pretty good scores. 181.5, beating down the Knuckleheads, who only put up 127.3. Walt, your moratorium on this game?
I mean, 127 is not a horrible score, especially when you only got 13 out of Mayfield. So he underperformed a little there, although I'd say the officiating was somewhat against.
A little bit subpar.
Yeah, it was very.
I think we can say that without fear of fines.
100%. And then, I mean, Chase Brown, Keenan Allen, almost like them alone would have beat probably me. I didn't add up the score, but just an incredible week there.
Yeah.
I mean, it just top to bottom, other than the D and the kicker. I mean, he just blew up. So nobody else would have beat him either. Yeah. So I guess that's some solace you can take.
Yeah, I didn't have a bad week.
Right.
It wasn't a terrible week, so it's nothing to get upset about. It's just disappointing. Right. But good for the Beans. I was afraid of the Beans. I said it on the show last week. I was afraid of the Beans coming in and doing exactly this, blowing up. I feel that this is a team that's really launching their way through the midseason.
I'd agree. I think you have a sleeping giant, because the best thing that happened to Beans was Joe Flacco, going to the Bengals, because, watching that game, he can still spin it.
Absolutely.
And when you blitz and, the protection's not great, he's a veteran. He knows what to do. So even, with him, breathing a little life into Chase Brown that I acquired. So that makes me happy as well.
Of course. Tom, when you look at Boston Beans, we said when they came out of the draft, what a strong draft. You've got Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown, and we've been giving A.J. Brown quite a bit of tough love on the show, which is pretty much a guarantee to get a player to blow up.
It's working for him.
Do you see these two players as leading Boston Beans up the standings as we head into the second part of the season?
Yeah, I'm still kind of up in the air on Brown. Who knows what's going on with Philly's offense. Barkley obviously hasn't been great, but Jamar Chase, 23 targets last week.
That's incredible number of targets.
One of the most ever.
Yeah,
that's insane.
23 targets is, they're going to be throwing a ton. So yeah, Jamar Chase is scary.
Yeah, they ain't gonna hold Flacco back, man.
Before he breaks down, get all the use out of him that you possibly can.
I mean, his arm's gonna fall off with the amount of throws he's done. It's incredible.
Yeah, they did not. They didn't waste any time. That's what really stuck out to me, is they did not waste any time putting him in there and letting the offense run through him. That's amazing.
I'd agree. I mean, he had the first half of his first game, he faltered. Second half, he was unbelievable. This game, he was unbelievable. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, really, realistically, breaking down travel, etc. He's had like a week of solid practices. So good for him.
I mean, you got probably two of the best receivers in the game. I mean, T. Higgins, no bum when he's on the field.
Absolutely.
So I agree though. I'd watch out for the Beans.
Beans currently sitting in 7th place, but I predict not for long. So we'll see. Where are we going now?
Let's talk about the pantloads and no lineup needed, kind of the shootout of the week.
So you called it last week, Walt. You said that this was the marquee matchup of the week, and you were absolutely right. Sody Pantloads goes insane, 173.9 points, taking out a strong effort from no lineup needed, 144.2. What won it for Sody this week?
There's another one.
What didn't?
What didn't work for Sody? I mean, Dunze might have been, it was only 5 points, but the Patriots made up for it with 19, so they pretty much covered him. I mean, he's got a weapon now. Bijan Robinson is like, this is what I envisioned when I drafted him.
It was,
like they're just, and Javonte Williams, being a Cowboy fan, I basically thought he was garbage, but he's not. I mean, they give him the ball, and, he scores touchdowns. So McBride blew up, Judkins, another great week. And then, I feel bad for Christian. You get 40 points out of – when do you think you're going to lose when you get 40 points out of a guy?
What a great performance by Christian McCaffrey. 40 fantasy points in that win over Atlanta, and it's in the wind. It's a waste.
Yes, it is.
Great.
Exactly. And, Genty, I think that's the hard one, right? You look like he was coming around. You had a couple of good solid weeks, and now you get a 4.4, and I think – all of us that have anybody that's, on the Raiders, we got to all wonder, can we trust them to put them in a lineup?
Yeah, that's a sad story that's going on. We'll see what happens with that trade, with that team as we go through the trade deadline over the next couple of weeks.
And Myers wants out. So
I don't blame him. I'd want out too.
No doubt about that.
Tom, Quinshon Judkins on the Sody Pantloads side of the ball. This is a player that has been really solid. You throw out one bad game against the Steelers, and might this be one of the steals of the draft?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely. Coming into before the season even started, they were questioning if he was even going to play, and then there were rumors that he could go back to college for a year. But I mean, he's been dynamite, especially this past week. So, this might be one of the steals of the draft, definitely.
Did he draft him or did he pick him up? You know what? I think he picked him up because
he did pick him up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
September 6th.
Yeah, because I had put a bid as well.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's good stuff there. That
was a steal of an acquisition.
That's a steal. That's one that we got to monitor as we look at those players that were maybe a little undersold. I mean, you drafted JSN, but this is, his ADP was what, 4th round, and he's playing like a first rounder.
Yeah.
So players like that, we've got to start talking about as we head into the second half of the year. So tough luck for no lineup. We've talked about how the middle of the year is really brutal to play no lineup. You know what you got to do to beat no lineup in midseason? You got to hang 173 points on them.
That's right. So that's exactly it.
Can't be hanging their heads in no lineup land. They just got to put it together.
Yeah, it's another good week, right? Three solid weeks or 4 solid weeks in a row.
Yep.
I'd take that any day.
100%. And so now it's time.
Well, we got them on the line. We got to talk about the Whopper Moppers might be a little limp now.
3-game
Tom,
slide.
what's going on?
This is a 3-game slide. Huey Lewis in the news takes out Whopper Moppers 142-86. Tom, power outage. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, especially this past week. No Puka is obviously that's 20-something points right there.
Tough
so
to replace that. Yeah, for sure.
James Cook was on the bye, and then I don't know. Coming into the week, I kind of figured he was probably going to be 7-0 after this week. It's kind of tough when you're starting Chris Moore and Nico Collins. Who knows what's going on with that offense? I mean, Stroud has about 1/10 of a second to throw the football before he gets sacked.
Absolutely, yep.
I'm not losing hope on him yet. Hopefully something turns around. And then you got Chuba Hubbard, they were literally splitting drives last week. So a little bit of question marks, but I think after this week, everyone will be healthy, ready to go. So a little mid-season lull.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. When you look at the Nico Collins situation is one that there's another player, ADP 3rd maybe, and he's just fallen off a cliff. And I agree with Tom. Something is happening in Houston that it's just not good.
Yeah, and I mean, Stroud's just throwing it up and he's killing Nico. I mean, because he's trying to catch the ball and he's 100%. Just putting himself at risk.
Yep, it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at Huey Lewis. they've got just the perfect record, and you look top to bottom, 2 players going over 30 points. Jonathan Taylor just continues to pump the ball into the end zone. 10 touchdowns on the season already. This team hasn't been beat yet. What do you see any weaknesses? Can we even talk about weaknesses for Huey Lewis?
I still think the receivers can be a bit of a weakness. I mean, although name-wise, Justin Jefferson, but if you look where he's ranked, I mean, he's 17th ranked at his position.
Yeah.
So it's not like, this is Justin Jefferson of old. And then, Quentin Johnson, 14th, not bad. But I think receivers, I think that could be the Achilles heel. You never know. You start those guys and, on one given week, they do nothing. And if you don't get the 34 out of Taylor, all of a sudden,
right
now you might have a problem.
Right. Yeah. It's so frustrating right now. This situation in Carolina with Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard for both of these owners, because either player, if they give them 20 carries, is going to translate into roughly 20 points. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to do this split. Tom brought it up. They alternated drives.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a killer.
All you can hope is that because Hubbard was just coming off the injury, they want to, manage his carries. But I don't know. Dowell's been pretty effective.
And you're not going to move this player.
I mean, why, right?
Right.
He's the hot hand.
Yeah.
I know.
Like for him, that would be, if someone was looking for help, he could maybe slide into a 1 spot based on this audition. But if I'm the general manager, I mean,
why would you, right?
Yeah. Both hands. So.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. So that is week 7 in the books, and let's take a quick look at the standings. I'm just going to run it down. Huey Lewis, we already mentioned, 7-0. Sody Pantloads 5-2. Knuckleheads 4-3, Whopper Moppers 4-3, Soaring Eagles 4-3. We've got a trio of 3 and 4 teams, no lineup needed, Boston Beans and Born to Run in order, with worst team ever in the Springfield Rifle pulling up the bottom spots at 1 and 6. Well, when you look at the standings, we were talking last week that the scoring has kind of been true to where people are. Realistically, take Huey Lewis out of it. There's not a lot of separation there between 7 teams.
Yeah, I mean, no lineup needed though. If you look, I would love to see what they tacked on there. Now the highest scoring team, and like you said, you gotta worry about them. I think
Pantloads actually with their massive effort this week.
You're right. I'm sorry. Wow, look at that
top spot.
Yeah, and like you said last week, I think the points for kind of show the better teams. Although you could say my team's a bit of a mirage at 3 and 4. Because if I'm not mistaken, I have the lowest point total in the league. But that's okay. I had some rough weeks, and I'm going to chalk it up to that.
Tom, any surprises when you look at the standings right now? Anyone getting a little more than they should, do you think?
I mean, I think it's tough to be undefeated in fantasy. We'll see how long that keeps going. But I think being 1 and 6 is obviously, you're not in a great spot and probably need a miracle to get out of that. But I think other than that, everyone else is pretty much in it. Yeah. 7 weeks left to go. A lot of football left. So.
A lot of injuries left, too. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think if I had won and Tom had won, I was going to come on this week and say that it's not really safe to assume that 7 wins was the stick. I might have started to move that more towards 8. But now that we've been pulled back into the middle of the pack.
Right.
It's wide open, folks. It's right there for the taking.
And Tom, I agree. I don't know what that year when I don't know, would I go 10-0, 11-0? There is nothing worse being undefeated because towards the end, it just sucks. It really does. Right. And then when you get in the playoffs, it's the worst feeling when you clinch like 6 weeks ago and you're like, you just wait for that other shoe to fall because you're like, I don't know. There's some. I'd rather do what you did last year, Tom. When you come in, you work your way through the whole thing. But going in as a favorite, I don't know how you guys feel. I never liked that.
Oh no, because it's coming. The loss is coming.
Exactly. You're like, my luck is gonna run out.
That's exactly right. Because there is I have all the respect in the world. We've mentioned so much how much Huey continues to astound us year in and year out, but I can't give anyone you're not gonna lose.
Right.
So
100%.
Yeah, that's insane. As we say goodbye to week 7, we have to take a look at the guillotine side bet. There were 3 teams remaining. It was Sody Pantloads, no lineup needed, and the Knuckleheads. And with 127.3 points, Knuckleheads fall out. So there were 2, Sody Pantloads and no lineup needed, battling it out for the guillotine side bet.
The 2 highest point totals going. So, I mean, that's probably what it should have been, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't argue with it. Yep. Yeah, it's good. And so that brings us to a discussion of week 8. But do you want to discuss decisions prior to the week 8 discussion, or do you want to do that after week 8?
I guess maybe we'll do our discussion segment.
All right.
Since I have Tom.
let me take one quick second here. It's so hard to produce, and maybe we just don't have it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to discuss a little bit of ownership do's and don'ts, and we're going to emphasize the don'ts. And so, Walt, with that, if you could take it away for things that owners don't want to see.
Yeah, so I've dubbed this in the Christian faith, there's a thing called the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
And I've kind of taken and said, and these are from my perspective now, right?
Okay.
These are what I would call my 7 deadly sins that I do. Now, some of them I've repented. Some, I guess, are the definition of insanity because I do the same actions, right? And I expect a different result.
Of course.
But I don't know, that's the way it is in this sport. It makes you crazy. And, for example, like I said, this is my perspective. So there's, say, a deadly sin you might say is a guy spent $150 free agent bid on one guy.
Yes.
That's not my perspective. I don't think it's a great idea, but that might be some other's owner, kind of how they feel is something you don't do.
Sure.
So with that setting up, let's talk about them. Okay. Number 1, and these are not necessarily any particular order, but I call number 1, not trusting the little man. And let me frame this one. So I've led my whole life trusting the little man. He's been good to me. He's the one that stopped me from having that 9th beer. So I wouldn't go from witty to the village idiot. The little man's been good to me. And yet, in fantasy football, I ignore the little man. It was just like my mother when she told me, you shouldn't go out with that girl who has loose morals. I completely ignore it in fantasy football. And I really don't know why. But I'm bringing the receipts. I'm going to back it up.
All right.
So what happened this week? There was a 9:30 a.m. game. I get up at 9. I decide to go look at my lineup for the 100th time. And I say, wow, I had Matt Stafford in literally Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock to start because I'm like, he's got the Jags. I love the matchup.
Yep.
And what do? That was my gut instinct. But 9 a.m., I read one little thing that Puka Nacua is not going to be in, and I make the change. And then I literally sit and watch 5 touchdowns of Matthew Stafford. And honestly, if I could go find a bully, I was going to go find him and say, kick my ass because I absolutely deserve it. So I know, so that's my advice. There's some pearls of wisdom here. If you got that gut instinct, trust the little man. He's always right.
Roll with the little man.
Roll with the little man.
I love it.
All right, number 2. First, I'll start with this. You are familiar with the acronym KISS?
Yes, keep it simple, stupid.
Stupid, right, yes. So this one is, the sin is overthinking. And I know there's many a owner who would say this is one of their deadly sins. Soaring Eagles, for sure. So what did I overthink? Well, luckily this week, and this is what really got me on the segment, I have another example. So I was looking at my receivers, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, let's look at. Ibuka was listed as questionable, although they said
I thought he wasn't playing.
Yeah, although I saw there's a decent chance he might play. So instead of keeping it simple, stupid, and just say, hey, why'd I pick up like the 3rd or 4th receiver on Tampa who's available? Oh no, I bring out my scientific calculator. I work through algorithms. And what does it give me? Luke McCaffrey is the answer. So what do? I go with Luke McCaffrey. And you know what Luke McCaffrey had for a score?
I don't remember McCaffrey's production last week.
You don't, because there was
it a 0?
That was exactly why you don't remember, because a big fat 0. So there you go. You gotta, again, and almost with the first instinct, but you can't overthink it. The answer was simple: get Ibuka's back up and just be ready to pivot on Monday night. All right, next one. I call this one "Don't Ignore the Trends," and this goes to my good friend Jameson Williamson. So Williamson, if you look, the last 3 weeks, the trends are really bad for him. And I just kind of put those aside, and I just keep hanging on to the hope that, hey, this is the week it's going to turn around. And you say, what is the evidence to make me think that? And I just put blinders on and just ignore that trend. So I think, there's a lot of that. Sometimes when we start looking at a guy and the trends are obvious, we just kind of ignore them because we hang in our hat on, like, oh, okay, he's got to break, this is the breakout week. This is the breakout week, right?
Yeah.
So, that, to me, again, that's another deadly sin that we sometimes fall in.
I love it.
All right, this one is this is a killer. Don't cut someone in the first 3 weeks.
Oh, boy.
So I have an analogy. See, think of it this one. Say you see someone and you find them attractive, right? And you're like, okay, I really want to meet them and, go on a date. And
Sure.
And you get them to go on a date with you. And then you go out, you go to a restaurant, and then when you're talking to them, they're talking with their mouth full. And you say, hey, that's it. I cannot go out with that person again.
Instant judgment.
And then 3 weeks later, you see that person with someone else and you say, you idiot, why did you not continue to go out with that person? So where that relates to my team is Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
And let me tell you, man, I want to kill myself. He is the #1 ranked quarterback in fantasy. I cut him after, I think, 1, maybe 2. I'll give myself 2 weeks because, whatever.
No lineup appreciates it.
Yeah, so, and let's talk about that. No lineup, as bad as I feel, he continues to rub it in my face. It's like no lineup went into my house, stole my new Callaway Elite driver, and then found out I didn't have a driver and tried to sell it back to me because he literally offered me a trade this week for Dak Prescott. So anyway, you got to learn. You got to let the teams, the offenses figure it out. And
yes,
right? So,
agreed. Well played, no lineup, by the way. Well played.
Yeah. All right, next one is the sin is not spending money on free agents. And this one's a killer, right? Because, and that's why actually I clarified Judkins was a free agent pickup because I bid on him as well. But, oh no, I'm like, oh, I'm going to put like $3 on him. Who would want him? And it's like, that's insane. The money's there. I knew he was a big improvement of what I had.
Yep.
Why not spend the money?
Yep.
Like, there's no trophy in BARFF for the frugal award of who has the most free agent money at the end of the year. Like, oh, let me save that $1. I'll wait till the next day so I can pick him up. And then you find out, like, someone got him for $1 and you really, really want to kick yourself. To me, it's like, I always think of it as like, oh, hey, let me save some money on the car. I won't get, heated seats. And then you go in your buddy's car on a cold winter day, he's got heated seats. You're like, you idiot. Why didn't you spend a little extra money and get heated seats? So there's another one.
All right.
If you got money, spend your money. Don't save it. That's the sin. Okay. So you go to restaurants and you're familiar with the specials the restaurant's offering, correct?
Correct.
And why do they do that?
They do that because that's what they want for a lot of people to get off their hands. Yeah.
They have too much of it and they want to unload it.
Of course.
So this deadly sin is buying the special. And where that relates is I'm talking about trades.
Oh boy.
And I think that's the thing, and this is the one where I've now don't really do that because I did reject a couple of trades. But someone is trying to give you, a lot of times you get offered the Walmart special.
Yeah.
You get all these pieces and it looks good because you're buying in quantity and they're only getting one back. But the thing there is, does the totality of the X amount of players equal the one guy that you have?
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, I've learned over time, it's easy. That's the deadly sin is that you kind of look at that and say, wow, that guy takes care of a need and this guy's not too bad. He's not quite as good as the guy I'm giving away.
Yeah.
But then when you add it all up, you realize that it doesn't make sense. You're just not really, like I said, the whole point total doesn't really justify trading one of your best guys there. So,
Yep. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That's when we've done all of those.
We have, right? And that's one I've learned from. So I can say that.
Nice.
So last but not least,
7.
number 7, don't kid yourself. And I'll quote Bill Parcells again. You are what your record says you are, right?
Says you are,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And and I think I remind myself of that is like, hey, I'm at home and say, hey, I'm kind of old, but I don't look that bad. But then I go to Dunkin' Donuts and some person opens the door and says, after you, sir. So who am I kidding? You got to be true to yourself. And your record's 1-6. You got to realize you are 1-16.
1-6.
You can't sit there and say, oh, I have injuries. If I get my guys back or whatever.
Yep.
It is what it is. And I think that's where when you see that, you got to realize like, hey, making a trade or something like that. I mean, what's the chances of that's really going to change anything? And, and I think the sin there is you can't kid yourself and, you can't really do something to maybe offset the balance of the league because you think, oh, this is going to turn the season around. So there you go.
Nice. So this graphic should have been 7 deadly sins. Way to go, Tom.
Yeah.
Did he mention one that all of us have not hit at least once? I think I've done all of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Don't overthink.
Definitely the main one. Keep it simple.
Overthink. I love it. All right, we've got some viewer chat questions for us. So I want everyone to participate in this. Alex R. Flores 1214 wants to know, we have to sit one. Moore, JCM, or Gaddison. That might be Addison.
Yeah, it's probably
so
Addison.
DJ Moore, JCM, or Addison. We got to sit one. Well, who do you sit?
Okay, say it again. We got
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
JCM. Somebody help me.
I don't know who that is.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm thinking JSN comes into mind, but he's on a bye.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who the other one is, but let's just go.
I would need some clarification on that one.
I like what Jordan Addison's doing.
Yeah.
He seems like, he's getting the targets. He's definitely, been in double digits. I think DJ Moore is hit or miss. So I'm probably starting Jordan Addison on that one.
Gotcha. Tom, what do you think? Even though it's a little tough with the choppiness of who these players are, do you agree with that sit?
I would also go Addison. I don't know. I think I'm completely bought out on DJ Moore. Chicago, at least. So, yeah, I'd probably go Addison.
That's a player that you definitely want more production out of for what we were heading into in this season.
100%.
Warrior Loft wants to know, between Keenan Allen, Tez Johnson, or Wan'Dale Robinson, who do you start in the flex?
I love that one.
Yeah. Tez Johnson. He's having a rough time, but he's producing. There's communication issues. There's a little bit of not going where he's supposed to go, but he's still producing.
And as much as I've crapped on Wan'Dale Robinson, I mean, he's a viable option now. You can't dismiss him. What was the other?
Keenan Allen, Tez Johnson, or Wan'Dale.
So I hate to say it. I was down on Keenan Allen for a few weeks after last week. To me, I'm going back to Keenan Allen. Yeah. Going back to the well.
Tom, Keenan Allen, Tez Johnson, or Wan'Dale for the flex?
Yeah, I mean, probably Keenan Allen. He's been solid. Tez Johnson is He's intriguing though, especially with Evans done for the year probably. So
Yeah.
who knows what'll happen with him?
By the way, that was the guy that was available on the waiver wire. That keep it simple. That would have been
right.
but,
Absolutely.
hey, you know.
Yeah, we talked about guillotined last week. We did not mention the viability of Tez Johnson sitting out there. Yep. Warrior Loft also is looking for trade advice. Would you trade Pickens and Kamara for Justin Jefferson?
No, never.
No.
That's insanity.
That seems like you're giving away way too much for that.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked. Jefferson 17th ranked receiver. Addison's coming on. I would definitely, especially Kendra Miller got hurt as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kamara,
I agree with
Kamara's the guy.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, even after all this time, he's still getting the offense run through him. So,
and he wants to be there. That's even the better part, right?
Yeah.
He's got a bad team. You'd think, oh, he'd want off it, but he doesn't.
Nope.
He wants to stay there.
He's the man, and he knows it. Pareko 1702 is asking, would you rather have Rome or Dunes or Brian Thomas Jr. for the rest of the season? He's got an offer to trade away Brian Thomas Jr. for Rome Odunze. Do you make that trade?
If I can unload Brian Thomas Jr., I'd sell him for, I don't know, a coupon for 20% off at CVS or something.
Gotcha.
He is not. I just don't get it. The offense, like they, against what was it? Who'd they beat? The Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Look like, oh, this is coming together, and then the last 2 weeks have been horrible.
Not good.
So I don't know. I would take a trade. I would take Odunze over him.
Gotcha. Tom, what do you think? Rome Odunze or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, probably a Dunze. I mean, that offense has been clicking a lot more the past few weeks, and then, like Walt said, Jacksonville's offense is, I don't know, has its high weeks and then low weeks.
Frustrating.
So.
Yeah.
Odunze.
Pareko also corrected us. JCM, Jacory DeKrosky Merritt. I'm just so used to people now referring to him as Bill. Yeah. So between DJ Moore, Bill Merritt, and Addison, you have to sit one. DJ Moore.
Still going Addison.
Yeah, but I think if you had to pick two, you're right. I'm sitting Moore.
Yeah.
I don't feel good putting him in a lineup.
Right. Riley KF2JY is asking, would you trade Debo, Golden?
Debo for Golden?
Debo, Golden, and Mason.
Okay.
So, yep, Debo, Matthew Golden, and
Jordan Mason
from the Vikings for Johnston and Scattaboo.
Yeah. I would do it. And the reason I'll say is Aaron Jones came off IR. So he's back in the mix. To me, that hurts Mason.
That hurts Mason's value, yeah.
So Scattaboo, I mean,
Quentin Johnston.
And Quentin Johnson, I think I'd make that move.
Yeah, Tom, what do you think? Do you trade Debo, Matthew Golden, and Jordan Mason for Quentin Johnston and Cam Scattaboo?
Yeah, I'd say that absolutely. I mean, Scattaboo's been great, and then, I think definitely.
Yeah, and that lines up to my point about if you look at all those pieces, are they really worth?
Right.
And we're saying no, and I think
that's pretty.
It looks good, but because you get an extra guy, right?
Yeah, unreal. Oh, Gadsden, the tight end. Another correction from Pareko 1702. Gadsden, the tight end from Chargers, not Addison. So we're still working on poor Alex R. Flores 1214. DJ Moore, Bill Merritt, or what is Gadsden's name? First name.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know he.
Yeah.
He looks good.
I mean, if I'm sitting one now that I know that, I'm still sitting DJ Moore.
You could throw 5 other more guys. I'm probably still sitting DJ Moore. I don't disagree.
I think he needs a change of scenery.
He does.
Be honest. He's a really talented guy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our check of the chat. Let's jump into week 8.
Here we go.
Where do you want to start?
Oh, let's see. Let's pull up week 8. Let's save that. I mean, wow. We got some. Tom, you're here. Let's talk about you and the Beans.
All right.
Let's go. Yeah. About to be 4 in a row.
Former turf war here. But
this is Whopper Moppers taking on Boston Beans. Right now, the projections 126 to 112 going in favor of the Beans. Tom, is this your get-right game?
Oh, I think this might be week 4 in a row with a loss. I mean, I don't know. I could see another 80-point week. I mean, I got Tez Johnson and Troy Franklin as my 2 receivers. Doesn't look like Nico Collins is going to play with the concussion.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. We'll see what tonight happens. That Vidal kid or whatever, I think the Haskins or whatever it is, he's out.
He's
so
out, right?
Yeah,
he should be the main guy. And then Hawkinson's been getting more targets with Wentz. So, I mean, if they have solid nights, who knows? And then on the other side of the ball, A.J. Brown, I don't think he practiced today.
No,
so.
I don't think he did
Usually
either.
we don't practice Thursday. It's not the greatest, so I don't know.
I agree.
I mean, if I'm going to pick, I got to pick Boston Beans, but there's a chance.
There's a chance, yeah. Walt, what do you think about this?
Yeah,
guy?
I mean, I think you get the puncher's chance here. I agree. I think if you get a decent night out of Hawkinson and Vidal, and Brown's a question mark for sure. And, the Eagles struggled against the G-men.
Yeah.
So, are we feeling they're going to be able to right the ship the second time? Or the Giants kind of got their number?
I still don't like what's happening in Philadelphia. I mean, the Giants can't kick extra points, so it's hard. It's hard really to me, I can't, and it's good for the Giants that I'm saying this. To me, it's a jump ball.
Right.
Because, you wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the year. The Giants have a tremendous amount of energy right now with Dart and Scadaboo. Line has been playing decent. I think that
they're scoring.
Yeah, I think that if the defensive coordinator can stop turtling up, I think that they could take it to Philly again.
And I mean, division opponents know each other, so I agree. I don't see why they can't do what they kind of did before. 100% there. And again, if you have a decent start, Tom, I think you have a shot. Not a great one.
Yeah, I mean, Rifle a couple weeks ago was projected like 105. I was projected 130 and knocked me off. So
started the slide.
Yeah, we've talked about these projections. Sometimes I think these guys are drinking.
They're not
drinking.
They're wonky.
Where are we going?
Let's look at your game against worst team ever. You're hoping it's the feel good tour.
Well, let's see. We'll see about that. Right now, worst team ever is projected to eke this one out 120.3 to 119.6. They're pulling in at 1-6 in ninth place, and they are in desperate need. I'm comfortable in saying that this is a must-win game for worst team ever. Walt, what do you think?
It's definitely a must-win for worst team ever. And I do look at some of the matchups and say, hey, they're not horrible at all. I mean, you look at Drake London against Miami, other than, Bijan has, 90% of the workload there. So, But, I mean, London's going to be involved. They're the 1-2 punch.
Absolutely.
So, is that going to be a blow-up? I think Xavier Worthy against Washington, that's a decent matchup. CD against Denver, that could be a tough matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, especially being in Denver. And then flip it. I think, one thing you want, Baker had a so-so game. Now he gets New Orleans. I feel that's going to be a really...
Yeah, that's a proud guy. He's not liking what happened last week. So.
I think, and the biggest news of for your team is looks like Lamar is going to play.
Yeah, that would be huge because I need Zay Flowers.
He goes from mid-level kind of receiver. Now he's back to, number one tier status.
I'm still desperately, trying to patch together running backs. Jordan Mason, we could start to see that decline as soon as this week. And so, I need Zay Flowers to blow up. Tom, what do you think when you're looking at Knuckleheads and worst team ever? Who's taking it?
I think this will be a close game. I mean, I don't love Pacheco. Just haven't liked him all year. Worthy, I mean, what's his name's back?
Yeah.
What's his Rice, whatever.
Rice that eats into Xavier
he's back. So but then who knows? Mason tonight with Aaron Jones back. So I don't know. I think this should be a close one. I mean, this is the season for worst team ever tonight. You can't go 1-7.
Yeah.
Tough being 1-6. So we'll see. Might be a toss up.
Tom, if it's close, you can't give it to worst team ever. I mean,
no. You're gonna lean knucklehead.
100%. I mean, it's
Yeah.
If he doesn't blow you out, he's losing. That's my.
Well, people have been putting up some pretty good scores against me, so we'll see. This is either a get right game for the Knuckleheads on a 2-game slide, or it's saving the season for worst team ever. We'll see. Where do you want to go now?
So let's talk about the other 1-6 team. Let's look at the Rifle, and projections aren't nice to him
Projections
at
are
all.
not right now. Right now, it's 115 to 104. Soaring Eagles pulling in at 5th place at 4-3, taking on the Springfield Rifle. Our last place team at 1-6. Projections say, and the green check marks are all in Soaring Eagles' favor. Walt, do you agree?
Yes, but I do. The win probability and the projection, I don't know. I think some part of me feels this game is going to be closer. Although Josh Allen against Carolina, that's coming off a bye. You got to kind of like that matchup.
Yeah,
A chain against Atlanta, I don't know, 20 points.
that's a lot.
That seems like a lot
That's
against
a lot.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no passing game.
Mhm.
And then Justice Hill, I mean, they got 8. That could easily be 2.
Right.
So I think there's just a lot of question marks, and of course he's got DJ Moore in there. We've been not. So I don't know. I just got a weird feeling this game might be way closer. And on the Rifle side, Goddard had a really nice game against the Giants the first time around.
Yeah.
So I can see him exceeding that 11, 12 points basically.
Yeah, I agree. And also, there's Pareko in the chat corrected us on a Rondé Gadsden, and we're seeing him now. He's in the Soaring Eagles lineup as a tight end, 11.1 projection this week. So thanks. We should just keep you on and just keep throwing those corrections out. I'm going to try to keep the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Tom, how do you see this one going, Soaring Eagles and Springfield Rifle?
Yeah, I think this game is just a complete toss-up. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to who's one guy puts up like 30 points or something, and I think Justice Hill and then Booty puts up 25 points one week and then 1 point the next week. So I don't know. I think all it's going to take is one guy to go 25, 30 points, and this game will be a lot closer than what it's projected to be. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think this one could be tight. I will say that, and that's just based on a couple of iffy, I think, over projections. And I agree, Josh Allen against Carolina is a juicy matchup, but they also might not need a lot from Josh Allen to win that game. So maybe James Cook has a better game. But
it's a really good point.
Yeah, so,
right. This might be the game where he throws like 180, 200.
Yeah, because they don't
really need him.
They don't need him. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Where do you want to go now?
Well, let's go me against my arch nemesis.
Oh boy,
the Pantlows.
This one is also projected to be a squeaker. Born to Run takes on Sody Pantlows right now. Born to Run, a 3-4 opponent in 8th place, is projected to win 122.7 to 121.1 over Sody Pantlows, our second place team at 5-2. Walt, does this hold up, this projection?
I think someone uploaded some malicious code into the. I don't see it. I mean, and I'll tell you, I mean, Bijan 25. I mean, geez, I could see tack on 10 at least more. I can see 40. That matchup is so juicy. Javonte Williams, I'm pretty sure he's going to come in that game with a chip on his shoulder.
I would, yep.
So, I see him having a good game. Baltimore's pass defense, maybe it's gotten better, but it's not great. He hasn't put. And the projection's based on him without even a tight end in his lineup.
Oh,
so,
that's true too. That's right.
So I mean, my best player's on the bench. I mean, it's a great time. Barkley, I don't know what the hell's going on with him.
That's the Philadelphia problem.
There's
2 teams right now that I see as a complete mystery as far as the wheels falling off the bus. Philadelphia is one, and the other one, in a worst case scenario, is Miami. I don't know. These teams have talented players, and there's just something bad happening in both locker rooms.
Yeah. And, Ferguson's been awesome. So, I mean, obviously I think I have a chance. Barkley could have. Maybe he'll return to form. I do think Chase Brown's been revived. I have to have Ibuka in the lineup, though. If I don't have him, I'm putting the Moon Man in. I mean,
the Moon Man was a good pickup. So
yeah. By the way, didn't start him either.
Good game.
But I mean, it's and I got McLaurin. I'm counting on him playing. So if Ibuka and McLaurin don't play, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Tom, what do you think about this matchup, Born to Run and Sody Pantlows?
Yeah, I like Sody's team. I like his projections this week. Only thing I would change is throw in Drake May. best quarterbacks in the NFL. Get Nix out of there, and then yeah, I think on the other side of the ball, Higgins. I don't know. I mean, he could put up a couple points or 30 points, and
Or
then
get hurt.
Chase Brown. Yeah, exactly. So Barkley again might need a big week from him. He's been real disappointing. So yeah, I think you definitely need a Gupka this week to have a chance. So if I had to lean, I'm gonna go Sodi this week.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
He's got Judkins on the bench right now. It's only Thursday. That's in favor of Addison. You know, we talked about Jordan Addison, and this is probably a good week for him. Like a Chargers matchup. Is J.J. McCarthy playing this week, or
No.
are they rolling out
No,
Carson
they're Wentz,
Okay.
because of the short week.
All right.
Yeah, he's playing the spike card basically there because I traded him Madison. So, of course, he feels he's going to blow up against me, and it's good logic.
It very well could happen. All right, where are we going next?
I think that's, we have
No,
the
we got
marquee.
the-
No, we have the heavyweight matchup.
Yep, hold on, let me get that.
Huey and no lineup.
Yep, this is going to be fun. These projections are based on Thursday night, but right now Huey Lewis is projected to go 140, which is a super high. Like when you're getting projected to go 140, things are going on well for you.
Yeah.
To a 122 projection for no lineup needed. No lineup just put up 140 plus points and lost to a 173 point effort. Does this happen again this week for no lineup?
I mean, I think it could happen because Jonathan Taylor against Tennessee. I mean, who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
But, I mean, tonight, again, you got the Chargers, Jefferson. You know, what is he going to have? Herbert against Minnesota. Minnesota, I mean, their D's not horrible. So, tonight might be very telling on how this game looks because, you know, if Herbert underperforms and Jefferson underperforms, to me that opens the door. But, you know, we said before, Jonathan Taylor makes up for a lot of mistakes.
100%.
And with that matchup, that's a nice matchup.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, Tom. In this matchup of teams that no one wants to see, who takes it?
Jeez. I mean, Huey's got 3 guys going tonight. That's just 3 big name guys too. So I think we're gonna have a good idea tonight of who puts up a lot of points or not a lot. But I think Huey's gonna be 8-0 after this week. Doesn't have really any meaningful buys for players, so it's got a lot of good matchups. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean Huey.
All right.
I'm going to lean no lineup.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the Brees Hall worries me, and like you said, Tom, if tonight, you know, ends up being more of a defensive game, I think that'll be enough for low lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. You really can't, like, if you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose at some point. I think no lineup in the middle of the season is gonna be the team,
right?
That team that can take you out for sure. So we'll see. So that's week 8 in the can, and I want to bring up one more question. We threw out a short and asked for anyone that had any questions to throw them in the comments. And our old friend Sox fan 7687.
Love to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to hear from them. They have a question, Tom. This might be a little tough. Are the Whopper Moppers experiencing a Super Bowl hangover? Walt, I'm going to start with you.
No, because to me the hangover is when you start slow and then you pick it up. It's the reverse. So I think, you know, just a lot of things, you know, he's suffering, I think, you know, like all of us other owners, some unfortunate breaks that are rolling his way.
Yeah.
So I would not call it a hangover.
Yeah, I don't call our current champs an 80-point-a-week team. It's just you hit some bumps. Tom, response for Sox fan 7687.
I definitely wouldn't say it's a hangover. I mean, 4-0. The trophy's sitting real pretty on the TV stand right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's just a little mid-season low. A couple guys banged up, should be back next week. So
Nice.
might be 4-4 after this weekend, but a lot of season left.
Yeah.
A lot of season left.
That's true. That's got to be what you take away. Now, I gave tough love to the teams down at the bottom earlier about this is not the time to not stress. It's time. We just talked about week 8. That's the first game of the second half. There's only 6 playoff spots available in our league, and it's time to start fighting. If you're a 1 or 2 win team,
I mean, do the math, right? You're 1-6. you got to reel off 6 wins.
6 wins in 7 games.
Yeah.
That's a tough stretch.
It is. The margin for error is razor thin.
That is a tough stretch. I want to thank everyone that weighed in on the chat tonight. That's great to have that participation. Alex R. Flores, 1214. I'm sorry that we completely butchered your question, but thanks to Pareko for picking it up.
Yeah.
Keeping
us honest.
I'm trying to do too many damn things here. But yeah, we appreciate you, and we'll throw out some more videos over the course of the week.
Co-host, maybe?
Oh, right. Yeah. So also, Born to Run is not going to be in the co-host chair next week. So anyone that wants to come in or join us by phone or on the screen, we'll do whatever. So owners, if you want to come in and take over co-host for the week, just let me know. Give me enough notice so that I can be ready for you. Otherwise, as usual, phone lines and chat will be open, and we're gonna have a lot to talk. Like that first game of the second half is always. There's going to be some teams that are like, I did what I needed to do, and we may have some tears. I'm going to have a box of Kleenex instead of a helmet here next week.
I'll tell you, I'll say this. If I somehow get by Sodi, I will be calling in from Hilton Head.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, Tom, thank you very much for calling in. It was great to hear from you. And
always a pleasure.
Thanks, Tom.
Looking forward to the champs doing a little get right week. So we're rooting for you, champ. Thanks for calling in.
See you guys.
All right, we'll see. That is our show. Walt, thanks for coming all the way down.
Thanks. It was great.
Week. Thank you for 7 Deadly Sins. That was a great,
awesome.
great bit. And all right, good luck to all.